testing. There we go. My mic's working on the stream now. And we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome everybody. I'll start off first because I'm a little bit rusty. Can everyone confirm that they can hear me? Anybody in chat, let me know you can hear me. But I will assume that they can. And I will introduce the man of the hour, the one, the only Wobo. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, Boydie. How you doing? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Mate.
I'm doing very well today. Very hot.
I did my usual Wobo. I managed to offend a lot of people once again, it seems, on Twitter.
That's what you do.
I put out a it's what I do. I'm not a streamer. I'm not an interviewer or anything like that. I'm just a Twitter troll.
Yeah.
But I put out a tweet basically calling on all Australians to go in and raid all UK streamers and start taking the piss out of them if they complain about how hot it is. And I've upset people. It was a joke, and I unfortunately I've upset people.
You can't tell jokes on the internet anymore. No, you just can't.
No, you can't. You can't. It made me laugh, mate. It was, like I say, I was. So I understand where people are coming from. It can be a bit scary and all the rest of it, but yeah, as I said to one person in North Queensland, mate, when I lived up there in Townsville, we had a Category 5 cyclone bearing down on us, and people were writing things on their doors and windows like "piss off Yassie," "kiss my Yassie," and "Yassie, you drunk, go home." Yeah, it's dark humour. You know, people could die, but
that's very dark. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind
I find it funny though, but I can imagine why other people wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just. Yeah, it's me. I sometimes I don't think when I tweet, and I just put my foot in my mouth. But this isn't about me, mate. This is about you, Wobo, mate. You are God tier in the DayZ community, my man. You just, I think, without you, I don't know if there's anyone who could do what you are doing, mate. You're just the level of detail you put in, the amount of information you delve into. Half of us would be lost without you.
I don't know. I think you did pretty well for 2 years without me.
No, mate, we missed you.
Obviously, people want me around, of course, because I can provide information in a digestible way. I guess I can pack hours and hours of research into, say, a 5-minute video, and people can get all the information they need in 5 minutes, and then all the questions they have for that subject are just gone, and I try to answer every single one of those questions. I think somebody else could do what I do if they replicated what I do, but I don't know if they'd have the patience to do it, because it's incredibly time consuming.
And that's it, mate. You were gone for 2 years. No one filled that void. No one. Not a single person that I'm aware of stepped up and said, "Wobo's not here. I'm going to start doing what Wobo does."
Yobo.
I was looking at there was a first time chatter on one of the pages, and his name is Yo I Am Gucci, and yeah, that's why I said Yobo. Yeah, I'm a boomer. But yeah, no one's come close, mate. You know, there's plenty of people who've done other informative videos. You know, you've got Archie, you've got Rav, who do all the guides and stuff like that. And there's others that I'm missing, and I'm sorry, but I'm kind of a little bit fanboying at the moment. But no one has come close to you, mate. There's just you are one of a kind, my man.
I yeah, I kind of I can't really say that I agree because it's like it makes me sound really big-headed. But yeah, I wish somebody else would at least give it an attempt. There are
The-
some people, like some smaller creators I've noticed, have been trying to delve into more of the science sort of stuff, but it seems like they're just using information that's already out there and then just compiling it into like a 3 4 minute video, which is fine. It's good to get information out there, but we need I think we need more people to gather that information. That's the difficult part. Not making the video, not doing the voiceover or the editing. I like all that stuff.
Yep.
What I don't particularly like, because it takes so long, is the research involved. You have to get all of the questions down, and then you need to test every single one of those questions. And answering a question can open up 5 more questions that you need to answer. And you don't know how long you're going to be there. You can take hundreds of hours to try and solve a certain subject. Like vehicles, for
Yep.
example, that's going to take me hundreds of hours to figure out all of the stuff. And I can condense all of that information in probably 20 minutes.
How much of a
videos.
challenge is modding for you? Because like I remember, I like to send you tips and that because who better to send it to explore it? And I was trying to tell you about something I've done with vehicles and placing fireplaces under vehicles, and you couldn't get it to replicate.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually never got back to you, but I realised that it was because I was playing on a server that had Build Anywhere. So the collision box was gone. So that must give you a lot of grief when it comes to delving into the science of some of these things you look into. People say something and then you try to replicate it, and it turns out they're playing on a modded server and Build Anywhere and just all those sorts of things. That must really, I imagine you probably wasted hours looking into stuff that isn't relevant.
Yeah, a lot of people will say in the comments, no, I can do that. This video is wrong. I did this the other day and that and this and that. And then I asked them, did you play on a modded server? They say, yeah. And then I test it anyway just to make sure because I don't want to be wrong. And yeah, I could spend like half an hour testing something that somebody's incorrect about.
Yeah.
Or they just have a theory on it and they believe this theory so strongly because they've believed it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And all of their friends are saying it and everything. And they're saying so... not aggressively, but so confidently that they know exactly why something is the way it is, and I have to go in and test it and confirm to them that it's not. So yeah, a lot of my time is running around answering questions for other people. Basically, that's what I do in the community, I believe.
Do you have any assistants?
No, I do everything myself.
You
People are saying that I have some sort of team or something. I don't. It's just me. I do everything. I do all of my own animations for the videos.
Other than when you maybe get some people in to be, test dummies.
No, I haven't done that. I've done that on stream once, but I can spawn stuff in and do testing that way. And I have a second account for Daisy, which I use on my laptop for testing stuff like shock damage that I can't test and sicknesses that I want to test quicker because these sort of things are really difficult to test without somebody else. But I can do that from my laptop. So I'm very lucky to have a laptop and a computer. Otherwise, I would certainly need somebody else. And I don't really want to rely on anybody else for the type of content. I know I should, because it's always a good idea to delegate tasks.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't really want to burden people with these tasks, and I don't want to have to rely on these people consistently for when I need them. I'd rather just try and do it myself.
The amount of content you put out, mate. You're not obviously a channel where you can have 5 or 10 funny incidents a day, but it seems like it's nearly at least I would say off the top of my head every fortnight at the longest between when you put a video out, because you're always delving into something. It's just you're churning out a great amount of content. Unfortunately, YouTube can be a very cruel taskmaster with the algorithm, and it's probably not that favorable, but I think you're lucky in that you've really got no one else doing what you're doing.
I think that's right. Yeah. If anybody else did join the space and tried to do what I was doing, even if they're doing it at the same quality or higher quality than I do, they would certainly struggle financially. Yeah, without a doubt. It's a
What about
struggle
an
at the
editor?
moment.
What about an editor? Have you ever considered getting an editor?
I wouldn't be able to afford it. I would love to, because editing could take me a whole day. Editing a 10-minute video would take 8 to 12 hours.
Okay,
So
Wobo, we're going to have a chat after this, mate. I'm going to talk to you about your Patreon, and we're going to talk about stretch goals.
stretch goals. I don't know what that is.
It's basically you factor in a budget of what you think it would take. So you reach out to an editor who you would be willing to trust. There's some great editors out there doing videos for some of the big names. Yeah, Uncooper's one that springs to mind for me.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Ghoul Z, the guy who did the channel trailer for us. There's a lot of good people out there, and you find out what they would be wanting, and then you put it out to the community, and you tie it in with a stretch goal on your Patreon or on your YouTube members or something. I'm raising funds to be able to hire an editor. Like Sauerkraut just said in chat, mate, I'm sure the community would be willing to help. You and there's basically three people I put as God tier in the DayZ community, and not in any order, but it's you, Asmondian, and Happy Bombs.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Not me. Obviously, I'm not going to say that I'm God tier.
No, but
Asmondian, yeah, and Happy Bombs, certainly.
That was probably one of my
Sumrak as well.
I'm not talking about the dev team. Not talking about the dev team.
Okay.
But actually, no, you kind of got me there, because Sumrak's kind of one foot in both sides of it, isn't
exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Namausk is incredible. Absolutely. I can understand why the developers don't want to add Namausk as an official map, because it's just there's so many different scripts in there that if they update the game for vanilla, then they would have to adjust it for Namausk, and it would require a lot more extra work for them to do that, I think. So I think that's the reason they're not adding extra maps.
Yeah.
It's just difficult for them to do it on Livonia and Chernarus, and it makes stuff much longer. I think they might wait until they have the game more fleshed out. I don't know.
No, we're not going to ask him that, Forrest. We're here just to talk about him. What I would suggest you do is hit him up on Twitter or in his Discord. He's got a whole section there for people to submit tips and suggestions of stuff like that. But we want to focus more on actually Wobo. So we're gonna roll her back a bit, mate. We're gonna roll her back a bit. Right, let's delve into Wobo the man, the myth, the legend. How old are you, buddy?
I am 35, I believe. I don't. I don't use my age so often that I sometimes forget if am I 36 or 35. Yeah, I'm 35.
I laugh because I do the same, mate. I sit across the table from a missus and go, "How old am I now? Am I 49? Yeah, I'm 49. Is it 49 or 50? No, not 50 yet. No, 49. Yeah.
The years starting to blur into each other. That's a bad sign.
And you're married.
Not yet.
You're getting married.
Yeah, I'm getting married. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm available now. My DMs are still open.
You'll be able to close that OnlyFans down very soon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Plans for any kiddies on the way, mate, or is that getting a bit ahead of yourself?
I want to obviously have a family. I think it's one of those things in life where it's a life goal.
Yes.
Even if you hate kids or whatever else, I think it's the good thing to do, because what if you get to say 70 or 80? If you get to that age, you're not going to have anybody to talk to. All your friends are going to die. Your kids are going to be there to help you. That's who. So you need to start thinking. That's thinking very far ahead. But yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I'd have kids. Also, you get a lot of satisfaction from it. Raising kids. Although I do know that a lot of people complain about them. But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm looking to do.
Look, yeah.
That might reduce how many hours I have making videos.
It probably
The
will.
editor's starting to sound good now.
But yeah, mate, I am sure that there would be people who would be lining up to be able to be right back subbing to Wobo's OnlyFans for some more. Oh, I love that line, Jake. I love that line. Okay, that's a question I've got for you that I was going to ask later, but Jake's brought it up in chat. Who recorded the audio for bonus tips?
That was me a very, very long time ago. I don't remember which. Yeah, a very long time ago. I was thinking about a bonus tip for my videos, like an additional tip, and I think at first it was serious. Like the bonus tip was actually serious.
Yeah.
And then I sort of changed it in my next video, and I did something silly like bonus tip. I can't replicate it to save my life. I cannot replicate that noise. I don't know how I did it, but it's all natural. It's all there.
And if you ever lose that off your computer, you'll be devastated. You'll be going back through your videos trying to rip out that little soundbite. It's one of the iconic sound bites of DayZ. Like I asked a while back on Twitter, for people to get what are some iconic sound bites. We've obviously got the infamous Eugen. We're not talking months, we're talking weeks. Bonus tips is another one. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So what do you do when you're not making videos? Yeah, obviously only if you're willing to admit it. You can be as vague as you want about what you do in the real world.
Mm-hmm. I touch grass, as the internet says nowadays.
Yep.
I would definitely try to get out of my box. I live in a box flat pretty much.
Yep.
So when I'm working, I can work for like 2 days just working in the box flat, and I wouldn't be outside at all. The only time I'd go outside is if I need shopping. But when my fiance comes, we will go for a walk. We will, just go into nature or do something to distract me. It really does help. If you do YouTube or whatever else constantly, it just burns you out really quickly. You need to constantly take rests. I exercise as well. Like I go running.
Yep.
I have a bench press.
You actually I have seen the video of you during the fundraiser, which we'll talk more about later and that. But you actually look like you'd be probably a pretty decent build for long distance running.
Yeah, I was one of the best runners in my school.
Yep.
And I was like an athlete as well, I guess. Like long jump.
Were you a distance runner or were you a sprinter?
I was definitely a distance runner.
Yeah.
They were much faster kids than me in school.
Yeah.
I would do, I think it was 1,500 meters.
Yep.
In England for my school. Long jump, high jump.
Wow.
Relay race. If I was needed as sprinter, I could do it, but I wasn't the best.
Yep.
So, quite athletic. I'm 6'3".
Damn, I didn't pick that.
I'd say I'm quite well built. Like my shoulders are quite broad. A little bit muscular because I've been working out for the past.
Oh yeah. Keep talking to me. Keep talking.
A little bit. Just I don't care about looking muscular. I care about being healthy.
What are you wearing right now? Huh?
Not a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, because it's so fucking hot.
It's way too hot. But it is really important to take yourself away from the internet and to basically touch graphs, like we say. Other than that, if I just want to chill out and relax, it's going to be YouTube or some sort of film. Mostly it's YouTube though, just watching other creators and getting inspiration. Not from people that do what I do, because there's very few people that do that. But from, there's quite a few creators that I look up to. There's so many that I forget. Filthy Frank would be one of them for humour, because he's just so out there and creative.
See, now that's why you get my sort of humour. Oh my god! But my young fella, he regrets introducing me to Filthy Frank. He really regrets it, because it really introduced me to a lot of the millennial Zoomer comedy culture, which is quite in your face. He said, like, I'll say one word that you'll get. He said, "Dad, if you ever say bussy to me again, I will kill you."
You're like making your son cringe.
I do. It's something that we like to prank each other. The best one he ever got me was with there's a song on the internet. I'm not going to sing it, but it's called Ram Ranch. You may have heard of it. 24 Naked Cowboys basically is how the song starts off. And one day I picked up my earbuds for my iPhone and I put them in my ear and I pressed play on it. And there was nothing happening. They were my son's earbuds, and he got the notification that the earbuds were on, and he figured, oh, Dad's picked up my earbuds. So he started playing, and I've got this gay porn song playing in my ears, and I'm looking at my phone going, what is going on? What the hell is going on? And he come out and he was cacking himself laughing, absolutely cacking himself laughing. That's the sort of humour that he and I have. Yeah, he's my best male mate in the whole world, my son. Best mate in the world is my missus, but yeah. Now,
lucky.
the big question, mate. Wobo.
Mhm.
What is the origin of the name?
It comes from Kamishovo in DayZ,
And yes,
which
Kami
translates from Russian to English. If you don't know anything about Russian, you'd read it as Kambi Wobo.
Yep.
And that's where it comes from. I was interested in DayZ for a long time. Arma 2 DayZ, I was watching people in helicopters. I was watching Frankie on PC.
Yep.
And I just couldn't afford it. Like, I had no money at all. It was a luxury to buy games. So I didn't have many games. I had free games like RuneScape and stuff like that, but that was about it. And my friend in December, just before Christmas, he bought me DayZ Standalone. So 2013, he bought me DayZ Standalone, and there was 4 of us playing. And we just loved Kambi Wobo, the town, Kamishovo.
Yep.
We used to hang around there, and I'd admit we were complete bandits. We would tie people up and we would kill them. And
I have to say, were you the sort who camped douche rocks?
Douche rock? Oh, that rock. The one at the top, yeah.
The ones that overlook the road.
I came from a background. I came from a background of FPS games. So it's like you see another player, you kill them. I didn't DayZ friendly and all the rest of it, like meeting somebody and going on an adventure together, that was all new to me. So my first instinct, our first instinct as a group, was to just kill people.
Yeah.
You know, you see a fresh spawn, kill it.
Yep.
And we'd run around Kami Wobo.
And look, it was a mod for a PvP game. So that's why a lot of people came into it with that mentality.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And we would just camp and kill. And I found myself, like, even a month, 2 months after playing the game, and I was making some videos for it because I liked creating videos before, and I was just doing it as a hobby. And I'd just log in on my own, and I'd camp the town on my own because I really enjoyed the adventure. Then I started to travel westward, and my friends got bored of the game, and I was still playing it, and I started to make more videos about it, and it just developed from there. I did a social experiment. I just wanted to see how friendly or not friendly people were.
They were all the rage back in the early days, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, yeah. And I would just talk to people and see if they were friendly or not. And I really enjoyed it, just meeting loads of people in the game and seeing how they react to certain situations. And that's where the experimentation side of stuff came in, because when I was wandering around the map, I would be like, oh, I wonder which weapon is best, the Mosin or the M4? Which one does more damage? Like, how fast do the bullets travel? Is there...
Yep.
Well, you know, and stuff like that. And then I'd find myself, like, just sitting there testing stuff on my own. Very on my own. Just testing stuff and, like, gaining knowledge. There's loads of people in the DayZ community that do this. Loads of people. And they come to me with loads of numbers and stuff like that. They come to me on Discord. So thank you for all those people that do that.
Yep.
And I'm just one of those people that play the game. And DayZ is a sandbox game, so you can play it however you want. I play the game as, like, an investigator. I like to run around and discover stuff. That's the best way for me to play the game. Second best way is the PvP. yeah, I like the survival element, so I was built for this, I think. Yeah.
Now, it was quite funny. You did a stream the other day for the first time in a long, long time.
Mhm.
And you said before how you started off with being a FPS shooter player, but you were actually making fun of yourself for just how bad you were playing.
Yeah.
But the whole time, because I was watching for a bit of the stream, for the whole
Mhm.
time, it was kind of you kind of reminded me of the modder mentality that yeah, most modders barely play the game.
Mhm.
And when they actually do, they're not that good at it in most cases because they know how to mod everything in, but they just they haven't got the hours up like a Running Man or a Toprek and
Yeah.
a Smoke. So they really struggle when it comes to playing the game. Does that impact you with your research at all?
I wouldn't say so. If I was talking about PvP stuff, I'm not. If I was saying if in this situation you should do that, and in that situation you should go to the high ground or whatever else, I'm not doing that sort of information. I'm doing strictly statistical stuff. And while it does impact the absolute bottom line of my information, like if somebody knew that I wasn't a professional at this game, not professional, but really good at playing the game, people assume that I'm really good at the game. That's the problem, I think. They assume that I'm some professional at the game, that I know everything, that in PvP situations I always do the right thing and all the rest of it. My information is very statistical, and I do not have a lot of background when it comes to recent patches.
Yep.
So playing the game, I have thousands of hours. I know exactly how DayZ works. I know the feelings. I know I've gone through all the motions that everybody else in this community has gone through, the ones that have played for a long time. So I believe I still am in a position where I can still say this is the best in this situation and that's the best in that one. But as long as I don't step into the realm of PvP or saying that one is better than the other because I find it more often, I don't have a lot of experience in that front, I think, and that is definitely something that I need to look into. Other than that, I don't think it's a massive deal. But if people learned it, yeah, they might be like, "Oh wow, he doesn't play that game that much." But the reason I haven't is because of my shoulder injury.
Yep.
If I'm laying on the bed and I'm making videos, it's much slower, first of all, because it's difficult to work with a keyboard and mouse while you're laying down to rest the shoulder. But also, I don't have a microphone, so I can't talk to anybody in the game, and I don't really have a lot of time to play the game. The way that I used to play the game while creating YouTube videos is that I would stream. So I'd stream, play the game, and get used to the new mechanics of a patch, the ins and outs, the stuff that you don't know from the game files, or the stuff that's on the surface. The stuff that only a player of the game would understand.
Yep.
Um, and I used to do it that way. And recently, because of the shoulder injury, I haven't been able to. So my goal is to stream on a regular basis, and I do plan to stream before the end of the month, just so I can get into the game again. And I'll be streaming every, say, 1 week to 2 weeks, just to basically touch grass in DayZ, because it's very much needed. As somebody that's looked up to as much as I am in the DayZ community, I believe it's very much my responsibility to make sure that I am one of the players running around getting themselves killed due to bugs that I can't see if I don't actually play the game. So to get the feel of the community, it's necessary for me to do that. But I wouldn't say for my videos it's necessary. My weapon statistics videos,
Yep.
it's statistics. It's not me saying this one is better because I've killed more people with it. I'm saying it's better because it can kill at longer ranges and stuff like that. But I do a lot of testing against test dummies in the game. I know it's not the same, but I have a great feel for how to use weapons. It's
Hmm.
just using the inventory multiplied with keybinds and making stuff quick. And there's a lot of things that I need to learn, definitely.
I
Yeah.
would say though, I wouldn't want to come up against you in a like an urban environment because you would know where and how to wall bang someone better than anyone else in the game. I would have to. I'd bet money on it.
Yeah, I probably am. I don't want to, put myself on a pedestal here, but I shot through every single building surface with nearly every gun in the game. And yeah, I don't think anybody else has done that. If they have, then they're probably on the same level. But nobody else has done that. They've just watched the video of me doing it.
Yeah.
And that can't really give you all of the information because otherwise that video would be hours long, it would just take forever.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say when it comes to wall banging, yeah, I'd probably be one of the better people in DayZ for that, for sure. But they have changed penetration recently, so.
Ooh, that's a spicy video for you. A word like penetration gives you lots of those dirty puns that you put into your videos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which there was a comment before someone said about it. Your dirty humour. It adds to them, mate. They could be so stale and boring, but you add your own little. It's really appreciated.
Edutainment.
Edutainment. Cool. I like that. I like that word, edutainment. Yeah.
It wasn't me that said created that word, but I do agree. Like, you can't keep it stale. It's YouTube at the end of the day. People choose to watch your videos usually in their free time. They want to have fun in their free times. They've probably got stressful lives. They don't want to work and all the rest of it, like nobody else. Like everybody else, I mean. So when I upload the video and people see that notification, I want them to be like, "Oh yeah, I watched this video," because in the past I'd had fun watching that type of video. So I tried to keep it fun, but a lot of the time, if the information is interesting enough, then it just carries itself, and I don't need to put any humor in there, and I won't put any jokes in, forced jokes. So if it doesn't come naturally to me, then I won't force a joke in there because it doesn't come across naturally, and people can tell that. People are very intelligent when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
That you're faking jokes. I'm terrible at lying and faking jokes, so I just don't bother. Yes.
Now, what would you, with all of your knowledge of the game and that, what's something that you would love to see added to it?
Added to DayZ. There's probably a million things, but if I was being incredibly selfish, it would be bicycles. Just imagine spawning in like Solnitsny and there's a bike propped up against a fence, and you could just jump onto it and you travel, say, 2 times the speed. I don't care if the animations suck. I don't care if I don't move my legs around in a circle with the thingy. If I'm moving at 2 times the speed and I'm on this bike, I'll be happy, very happy. I don't care if it looks like crap. If it doesn't need animations, if you get off of it, then it can just stay still, like stood up. I think the reason they haven't added them is because it would be janky, very, very janky. But there's a lot of janky stuff in DayZ already, so why not just add it? I think it would be incredibly fun to, have a few bicycle spawns around the map and people can ride bicycles. I think that would bring a lot of people back to DayZ, actually.
I do think I remember something about going off-road. There would be quite a job for them to rework the textures or something like that, because the whole vehicle, instead of being a 4-wheel chassis, it's a 2-wheel chassis, and it'll interact differently. And I remember that was something big of why they haven't put motorbikes. And we even remember from back in the day, Wobo, the models they released of the old motorbikes that they were looking at putting in.
I remember that. Yeah, very excited.
Yeah,
but yeah, they didn't put them in, did they? Just, I think it's on Trello. No, was it Trello? I don't remember.
Something like that. Yeah. What's your biggest gripe with DayZ? What grinds your gears the most?
Well, I don't really play all the game all that much, so it would probably be something to do with how difficult it is to mod. I would say the way that you work the game files, it's not very well put together, and you have the game files as well, and it's all over the place. It's like you find weird things in different places. You really have to know your way around the game files in order to understand where to look for stuff, because there's so many different files and so many different folders, and it's to criticize. It's like not very well organized, and it must be a nightmare for modders if they have a problem with their mod and they're not sure where to look because of it's conflicting or whatever else. Then it must be an absolute nightmare. It's difficult to look through them, the game files. So I think that's something that I would like, but it's, I don't think it's going to happen because the devs already know how the game files work and where to find stuff and where to put stuff. It's just I wish it was a bit more organized, like it made a lot more logical sense. Like you've got the add-ons folder, you've got the DTA folder, you've got scripts folders, and you need to sign add-ons and all of this stuff. It seems like there's too much going on. Make it easy for people to mod your game, because I think DayZ is quite difficult to mod. For people experienced, maybe not, but it seems like when they release a patch, sometimes it breaks the most fundamental mods that we need, like the CF mod.
Yep. CF
and
tools and
admin tools
Yep.
mods. They get broken because of these updates. That shouldn't happen. You shouldn't rely on your community to update their mods every single patch. You should create frameworks that allow modders to use older versions of their mods.
It's something we talked about on the podcast a while back about how volatile it is, and when they, I think they've taken steps to make it better, to give modders more time during the experimental phases and not just dropping big changes that they just can't prepare for, because that's always very difficult on them. For the modders, you got to feel for those poor buggers at times.
For sure, yeah.
So they make it so hard for them to earn a coin as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Modders, like I was saying, is they're the unspoken heroes of the DayZ community for sure. They deserve way more love. They do.
Hashtag
I feel like
Dr.
I
Modder.
don't deserve as much as I do.
Hashtag Dr. Modder is what I try to spread.
Yeah, I mean, The1 is an incredible modder, and he's helped me a lot. Like,
well, I actually wanted to talk about him because from what I've seen as a just someone looking at what you've done, he's probably made a mod that's had the most influence on your content that I've seen from anyone, and that's that one that we see in a lot of your videos where it shows the actual bullet trajectory.
The projectile mod, it's called. One sec, just in case anybody else wants to get a hold of it. I forgot what it's. Projectile debug on Steam. You can download it.
Yep.
So this mod is a bullet mod that tracks the bullets as they fly through the air. It doesn't work for the newer ammo types, so the flare rounds, and the 40mm rounds for the grenade launcher.
The1, fix your fucking mod, mate. Lazy fucking modders.
Yeah. So this mod is absolutely incredible. It has helped me so much in understanding how bullets work in DayZ.
Especially when you were doing the projectile, the wall banging ones and showing the deflections of bullets and things like that. That was amazing for me. That was brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah. It's an incredible mod. It's like he came to me. I came back from looking after my mum, the break I had, and he came to me and said, "Hey, I'm working on this mod. What do you think about it?" And he showed me loads of images, and he was working on it, and I was just amazed, like set back, like wow, like who is this guy? And he was just blasting these videos at me, like this is how it works, this is what it would do.
Yep.
What do you think about it? And I was like,
and he's got a good sense of humor too when you're messaging me, doesn't he?
For sure. And he was just, I think, confirming that I was actually going to find this mod useful, and I was like absolutely blown away by it when he was showing me that you could see the bullets go through a shed and then curve slightly as it leaves the other side, and I was absolutely like, I didn't know that was possible in DayZ, that it would change the angle
the trajectory
of the bullet as it's going through. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And I was just, for the first few hours that I had the mod, I was just messing around, just like shooting this, shooting that, trying different things, and we found different weapons that couldn't penetrate and ones that did, and ones that deflect better, and surfaces that change. There's so much to cover, when it comes to penetration. I believe I covered most of it. So the bullet sort of side of stuff, I think we have a good idea of. And it's just absolutely incredible. And the fact that it's available for anybody to download is also incredible. So, The One is an absolute legend in the DayZ community. He should get a lot more love than he does, definitely.
Well, he's, I said before, the three people, there's actually 4 Vigilante Gamers, another one. I can't believe I forgot his name. Yeah. But like you said before, mate, some of these modders, Jacob Mango, The One, and Clement Dab, Dumpgra, Iceblade. I'm having a senior moment. I'm being trolled in chat. Dancer Jesus is trolling me.
Yeah, Dancer Jesus, I see.
But there's so many people. The expansion crew, Lieutenant Masters, and just Helkiana. The more you think about it, there's so many of them, and they deserve so much more love. I'd love to see some of the big streamers get them on, and instead of doing a collab with another big streamer or even maybe a smaller streamer, get on some of these people and just talk to them while they're playing. About what they do, let people know about them. Spread the love. Show the. It's one of the reasons why I started the podcast was so we could start shining the light more on the amount of amazing people in this community, and it's not just the big names who make it up.
Yeah,
it's exactly. Someone said before that one of the other much maligned people who don't get to play much is the community hostess. The people who run the servers, because they spend most of their time, trying to fix bugs and sort out tickets that people lodge when they get butt hurt because their base got raided and stuff like that. They barely get time to play, and there's so many unsung heroes in this community.
There absolutely is. What I was planning to do with my streaming is create like a fundraiser for a certain modder on a certain day.
Yep.
So The One would certainly be one that I would be looking to do fundraisers for.
The One is the guy behind the Vanilla Plus Plus servers, folks. Probably one of the most popular deathmatch servers. So he's another god tier modder.
Yeah, we've got loads of god tier creators in the community. The DayZ community is absolutely incredible. The variety of people that we have, and the community, you're going to have some toxic people here and there. In any community you do, you have like 10% that are just degens, if I could use that word.
You can. You can.
I think any community has these people, and we just need to remember
there was one
that
of them in chat, Dancer Jesus.
Oh, yeah, degen of Jesus. I'm joking.
Degen Jesus, I like that. That's good. That's good.
So... This community is absolutely fantastic. What they've done for my family as well, it's just, absolutely incredible.
Well, let's delve into that, mate. So, for those who weren't around a few years back, but the community was kind of devastated. I know that's a big word, but Wobo released a video basically saying that he's going to be quitting. Doing his content, and that was due to major health issues with your mother, and a bunch of people got together, but the one who has to be shouted at the most is the Running Man, who you said you were going to do this charity stream, and the Running Man actually started streaming a number of hours before. I was a mod for him back then. And this is a story that the Running Man's talked about, but kind of diverting a bit here. But the Running Man started a fundraiser, and he raised a shit ton of money. I think it was something like about $20,000 US, ballpark figure. Someone in chat will probably know. But then he got fucking hit hard. PayPal were going to charge him fees. And the fees for that sort of money was hundreds of dollars. And I remember Spaggy and I were DMing each other at the time, going, holy shit, this is going bad. But the Running Man had set it up so that but basically, whenever you do a fundraiser like that, you generally say it's only donations using this link. And bits were around back then. So I know I donated a few $100s. I know Spaggy donated a few $100 in bits to cover what we knew was coming with the PayPal thing. But thankfully, that all got sorted. But it was probably one of the most shining moments in the DayZ community was when everyone got together to help you out, mate. And it must have blown your mind.
I still can't even express it in words, that sort of feeling. There's some things you can't say out loud. It's they're just so beautiful, to witness, that you just can't put it into words that correctly define the situation. I think it's something that you had to be there and you had to feel. It was absolutely incredible. I haven't ever felt anything like that. And
I still remember because I was in the Running Man stream, obviously, and I think I stayed up late that night because it was such a big, how fucking lame am I, mate? Staying up to watch fucking online people that I've never met in person. But yeah, that's our lives. We love it. But then we switched over once you started streaming. We rated you, and then the donations. It was just you could barely even actually talk because you were trying to acknowledge every donation that was coming through. And how much all up roughly got raised? I know you said it publicly, so it's not like we're delving, but it was over $30,000 US, wasn't it, or something like that?
It was about 34,000 in that ballpark. And then a year later, we did the charity stream where I did a skydive and I raised £1,000.
Yep.
So again, that's like $1,400, $1,300. So let's say just $35,000 in total, which is absolutely incredible.
I know a lot of people didn't unsub to you on Twitch either, did they?
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of people stayed subbed on Twitch. They were supporting me on Patreon, although that did quickly die off. But people stayed on Patreon for a long time, like 2 years.
Yep.
So there was a lot of support, continued support. I was hoping to raise maybe like $1,500 in total, and that was really reaching. If I could reach that value, then I wouldn't have to sell my computer. So, yeah, I was absolutely blown away. But I think about half an hour after I released the video, somebody already donated on PayPal $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was just absolutely blown away by that.
And you still went and worked at KFC, mate?
Yeah, I worked at KFC because I don't want to be sat there doing nothing.
Yeah.
Looking after my mum wasn't really a full-time job because of what happened afterwards. The doctors were saying that she's, going to be in a pretty horrible state. She probably won't be able to use her arms and all the rest of it because they were operating on her neck. They basically removed the bottom of her mouth. So the jaw, from the back of the jaw, from the neck upwards, halfway up the neck upwards towards the jaw, and the entire bottom of the jaw, the skin there was completely removed. She had to have a new tongue flap, a tongue flap installed just so her tongue would work properly. And all of the skin that was put there was from her left arm. And also the nerves from her left arm were put there too. And I think the doctors, because it was quite a rare situation that you'd have cancer in your neck, they didn't know what to expect. And I think they kind of overblew it a bit with maybe telling us that she's going to be disabled, she'll need a carer. And
look,
stuff like that.
I think that's smart, though. Yeah, if you expect the worst, if that happens, you were expecting it. Anything away from that is good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, she certainly wasn't perfect when she came out. She couldn't use her arms at all. She couldn't raise her arms up. She was constantly getting infections in her arm and in her neck. I remember on Christmas Eve, actually. No, Christmas Day it was. We just ate Christmas dinner, and I had to grind up my mum's Christmas dinner because she couldn't eat solid food yet, and she wouldn't be able to for months. She had her dinner, and then the problem in her neck was becoming worse. Like it's becoming more infected and becoming very painful. And then I hope no one's eating right now, but there was an explosion of blood, and we were all very scared. And we had to rush to A&E on Christmas Day.
Wow.
And there was a lot of drunk people there. I think the people just got so drunk, and they're in A&E. There was a lot of people there on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it's one
Luckily,
of
it
those
was all
things,
okay.
Christmas Day.
It was all okay. She had some antibiotics, and she was all right. But the worst part, I think, of the whole experience for her was the nervous system change because of how they move stuff around and disconnected and connected nerves again in her neck. You know, this is like one of the most sensitive areas of your body. She couldn't walk as well as she used to. Like, even though her legs weren't affected, weren't operated on at all, because of what's been happening in her neck, her legs weren't working as she remembered them. So she would sometimes fall over, and I remember for the first few months she was falling over constantly. She dislocated her leg. She had to wear a strap that had was like tying her leg together. But the problem was that this strap was very slippery underneath, and then she kept falling over because it was too slippery. So she had to have like rails installed everywhere, and I mean, without the money, that wouldn't have been possible. And it's helped an incredible amount. Absolutely. Like, I think the worst part for me in particular was that I just didn't have any money. My business at the time wasn't doing very well. I didn't have any money. I was selling all the things that I collected. Me and my girlfriend at the time were selling everything we had because we didn't have enough money. That's kind of my fault for maybe holding on to my business for too long, a web design business.
Yep.
But at the end of it, when I was like absolutely pretty much bankrupt, had nothing but my computer, that's when I got the phone call, and it was absolutely heartbreaking. I burst into tears as soon as she told me.
I got a question for you. You're in your 30s, so you're old enough to remember when before the internet became big and all the rest of it, and online gaming and Twitch and all the rest of it. What did your mum think of all of these geeks and nerds and basement dwelling incels that are gamers raising all this money for someone that 99.999% recurring of them have never even met in person? What does she think of that?
I honestly don't know. I don't think she could process it. Like, I couldn't process it. I didn't know what to think about it. What do you think about it? What would you? Yeah, let me pass it to you. What would you think of that situation? Like, there's no words to.
It's me. Of course, people are going to throw money at me.
Happened. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have. I would be stunned, mate. You know, look, I did a fundraiser for one of my friends, Moonshine, who I play with a lot, and I was stunned, even at the support from people who I've never met, who've never met Moonshine. You know, Moonshine is this redneck guy from West Virginia who is stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And all these people raised money so we could buy him a new computer. The guy was playing DayZ on like a 10-year-old laptop. And yeah, he told me his story. And I was just gobsmacked. And I thought, well, what's the, scale speed of bloody hell is hot in here. Don't bring me in more shit, mate. I'm already in enough shit with everyone on Twitter again. But yeah, it's amazing what people will do. And we see it time and time again. We just had Ariana talk about selling her computer, and people raised money. There's just been countless examples. All these streamers who do their charity streams and that as well. But for me, it's always better when, even on a lesser extent, the one that Helkiana started, fundraising to get Sumrak a new PC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Did you know about that one?
I think I heard something about Sumrak not having that good of a PC.
Yeah, and we all just thought that was an absolute abomination. And he does work in the Czech Republic, and I'm making an assumption here, but I'm guessing that he's probably okay paid, but things like computers.
Oh, the cost of living, yeah.
Yeah, a high-end computer probably costs a hell of a lot.
Yeah, same prices for an English person as it is for a Czech. So
yeah, we thought, well, there's plenty of us who've got even if only a few people could spare a few quid in that, and we were able to. Helkiana was the person who did it, and we were able to buy Sumrak a high-end gaming PC. He built, just for those who don't know, Sumrak built Namolsk on a laptop.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Namausk is my favorite map. Even though Chernobyl is close to my heart, I think Namausk has the heart of Daisy. Like, you have a lot of action. It's straight in there, the coldness, the survival. There's a backstory behind it. There's lore. There's different elements that you don't have in the different maps.
Have you made it to Lantia yet?
Darkness. Have I done what?
Gone to Lantia, I think it's called.
No.
Through the portal?
The only other map I've tried is Namausk. That's it. No other maps. But I would be doing that when I get back to streaming.
Yep. I think, get in contact with someone who runs one of the community servers, and maybe make an event of it. Do it with your Patreons and your YouTube members and that, and do a run to try to get to Lantia. I hope I'm saying it's right. I do a Daisy podcast. I should know what it's called. I haven't been there yet. I haven't made it there. I love going under Molsk, but I'm too scared to go into all the high-end places there because I suck at PvP. But no, mate, it was a truly memorable. It has to be top 3, top 2, probably the number 1 event, barring Survivor games, that I can think of with Daisy. Was the Wobo fundraiser, mate, and don't on behalf of the majority of people. I'm certain there'll be some wankers out there. There always is. And goodbye, Skullspeeder. Good to see you in here, mate. But we're just glad you're back, mate. We were devastated to lose you, but we're just glad you're back, and you seem like you're in a pretty fucking good place as well, and that makes us all happy, mate. At the end of the day, we just want people to be happy.
Yeah, the whole experience with going through basically losing my web design business because I wasn't earning enough money, to my mum announcing that she has cancer as that's happening to me. Not that it's all about me, but stuff like that, it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And I think you change as a person. And beyond that point, I sort of looked at life a bit differently, like how short it is, how lucky we are to be here, how what you have can be taken away from you at any second. And it kind of knocked me back and made me realize that I'm not some, a person that should take stuff for granted. And ever since then, I think I haven't. And I look after myself and I do the best job I possibly can with the resources that I have. And I think I've shown that to many people. People believe that I work in a team on Wobo. I do everything myself, and I think that's testament to how I've changed from my old self. Before, I used to play the game a lot, and I used to play a lot of other games and make Daisy videos, but now it's like I feel like I have a purpose to provide information for the Daisy community, and this website that I'm creating is absolutely the gift that I want to give back. This is one of the main reasons I came back to Daisy, is to give people this website. And at the moment, I am getting it financed, so I can financially progress with updating the website and keeping it online and all the rest of it. And this is, I think, what I want to give back to the Daisy community. This is like the gift. This website is going to be it. At the moment, people might look at the website and be like, it's okay. But in the future, this website is going to absolutely rock the boat. People that are new to the game will be recommending it. They'll be going to it. People that are old to the game will be going to it as well. and I want to create an environment where people can learn all about the game in a reliable way. Because at the moment, well, since I started YouTube on Daisy, a lot of people share a lot of false information. They make assumptions based on what they've seen, and other people have seen different things, and they believe a certain thing, and they share it around. And then enough people say the same thing to it for it to be the truth, and people within the whole community believe it. And then I come along with a video saying, no, that's not the case. This is actually the case. And people are like, whoa, he's done it. He's whoa. And then people followed me because of that. And I'm overwhelmed with the amount of passion that I have for this. I am. And my gift back to the Daisy community is going to be this website. I hope to completely remove all monetization. At the moment, I do have adverts on there. Patrons do get it early, but I'm hoping that in like a year or two, we'll be at a point where the website is just so helpful to players, old and new alike, that they'll be able to just go onto Patreon and be like, yeah, I'm going to give $1 a month because this website, it deserves to be online. And I don't have to monetize it, and it's just something for the Daisy community, you know? It's
Now,
my gift, I think, yeah.
you talked about that you have played other games and that. Now, I remember that for a while there, you were doing videos on The Division.
Oh, yeah.
And they were massively popular for you too. Do you have any plans to expand into other games?
The reason I expanded into Division at that time is because Daisy updates back then were just so slow.
Yeah.
Like, seriously slow.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it would be like 4 to 6 months to see an update, and the update wasn't that great. Because I think at that time they were fleshing out the Infusion engine. They were basically focusing on that, getting the Infusion engine into Daisy, and it took them a couple of years to do that, I think it was. So there weren't many updates, and I didn't really have much content to cover. I wasn't as in depth as I am now. Back then, if I did the same thing that I'm doing now, I would, probably still have tons of content to do back then. But I saw The Division. Everybody was playing The Division at the time. I enjoyed it, and it was like a game that gripped me. And I'm not going to make videos for a game that I don't like. I think it's very important that you're passionate about the content that you create.
Yep.
Because otherwise it comes across as, quite flat. So I like The Division, and I just wanted to create videos for it. And I did, and they were popular. And I was very thankful for that. But then The Division died, like a lot of games do. They come in and they just disappear. But yeah, I probably will go on to other games if Daisy content dries up for me. And by that, I mean I've covered pretty much everything, and all questions are pretty much answered, and I've done my job, and the website is fleshed out, and when I feel like I've done my job, then I'll start covering other games. But I will definitely not neglect Daisy. The website will be kept up to date, and I'll update everybody when a new patch comes out. That's my goal. I don't know if I'll be able to do this forever, and if I can't, then I'll do it in my spare time. But the Daisy community has given me so much that I just cannot repay them. I don't think it's possible. Can you repay someone?
Don't think. Like I said before, mate. Don't think you have to.
I think I have to.
Yeah, and that says a lot about the sort of person you are, mate. And it's one of the reasons I like you so much. Is you're a very humble person, and you don't owe us anything, mate. We're just happy to have you back, and happy that you're happy is probably the best part, mate. Hashtag Wobo, we love you. In Wobo we trust is something I like to type every now and then. Now I do something with most of my guests, and it would be rude of me not to do it with you as well, mate. The rapid fire questions. So just say the first thing that pops into your mind.
Okay, I try not to get in trouble with this one because I can be a bit edgy sometimes. My humor, if you've watched my videos, I can be a bit edgy.
I am hoping for that. Okay, favorite long range weapon.
Mosin.
Least favorite long range weapon.
Longhorn.
Favorite automatic weapon.
M4,
Least favorite automatic weapon.
UMP,
KOS.
KOS.
Kill on sight.
Kill on sight, yeah. Do I kill on sight?
What does KOS make you think?
Kill on sight.
Yeah, but okay, we're going to need to expand on this one. When you think of kill on sight, what does it make you think?
Bandit.
First person or third person?
First person.
Favorite server?
Vanilla. Official.
Favorite place on the map?
Can be Wobo, can be Shovo.
Public or private servers?
Public.
You're one of the few who says that public being the favourite, but why is that for you? What makes the official servers so much better?
I want to play the DayZ that developers intend me to play.
Yep.
So whatever the developers shovel out is what I want to experience. And I think that's what a lot of people experience as well with console and PS4. I know it's unusual to be like that, but I want to play the game that the developers envision. I don't want to have a modded server because I don't know exactly what these people have done on the modded server, and I prefer just to play what the developers intended. I trust the DayZ developers. I think they're fantastic developers, and I believe in their vision for the game, and I trust whatever they put in the game. I like community servers, but I prefer official public. I know that there are hacker issues.
Yep.
But yeah, I just like their vision of the game. I think they're incredibly creative and skilled. And there are a lot of problems with DayZ, but I think that's something that I enjoy the most.
Look, I always say, mate, the day that there isn't any bugs or problems with DayZ, we're not going to know what to do with ourselves.
I think that's right. Yeah, it adds to the charm as well.
Yes.
And every game has bugs, and
yep,
it does. I think the type of people that don't really care about the bugs and they care more about the actual gameplay. That's what we should be looking at. What's the problem with the gameplay? Not what the bugs are. The bugs can cause problems with the gameplay, but most of the time the bugs are just superficial. The jankiness of vehicles, for example. If they kill you, yeah, that's a big gameplay issue, and that's something they're trying to fix because we're aware of that. But if there's a bug with like you reloading upside down during an animation or something like that, just a bug, then I think that adds to the quirkiness and the uniqueness of the game. I loved it back when developers used to add like quirky little things into the game, just accidentally, or they left a bug inside there because it wasn't important. The gameplay is what's important, not the polish.
Yep.
It's the gameplay, how you feel playing that game, how in depth it is. That's why I love DayZ, because of how incredibly in depth it is. You can tell that. Well, I would say that all of the developers on the DayZ dev team are very, very passionate about the game. Very passionate. They love DayZ. They love the DayZ community. They wouldn't know what to do without it. And I'm sure there are people that work there that, are only interested in the money side of things, or, this is just a step towards what they want. But I think that the DayZ developers are very passionate about the game. And I think that's been very, very evident recently.
Yeah.
How they've been punching out such amazing content.
Mate,
the dynamic gas and
this is not shitting on any of the people before, but my fucking God, the dev team at the moment are just fucking insane, aren't they?
I agree. Yeah.
Look,
sure. I knew what you were going to say before you said it.
They're obviously getting to work with, the teams in the past were doing a lot of very in-depth behind-the-scenes stuff. You talk about infusion and just getting the engine to a point where it could be what it is now. But, my God, and I have to say this, they could not have picked a better person. Obviously, if Dean Hall was still there, it would be great. Brian Hicks, Eugen, any of those would be great. But, they all moved on. And I can't think of a better person to be in charge than Sumrak. He's a man who lives and breathes and bleeds DayZ. It frustrates me when you see people in comments say, do the devs even play this game? Do you fucking know who Sumrak is? Get out of here with that shit, you fucking idiot.
I completely agree. I think that's the reason Sumrak didn't have a good PC, because he's very much a person that's driven by passion, and I don't think he would be a DayZ developer or the lead if he wasn't passionate about DayZ. He obviously is incredibly passionate. I mean, Namausk, that's just evidence that he's incredibly passionate. That's the best map for DayZ. I think a lot of people would agree with me for that. If you were neglecting the I forgot what the word is now, but the nostalgic effect of Chernarus. Yeah. I think Namausk would probably be the best map, without a doubt. Yeah.
What's your theory on why everyone always ends up going back to Chernarus?
I think it's because it's familiar. They know it. And also it gives you that feeling of loneliness in an apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Namausk is very you can get straight into the action on Namausk. You start to freeze. You need to rush around and get food. You need to get clothing. You need to, melt the beans.
Then you end up in Vorkuta and there's every fucking man and his dog.
Yes, exactly. And then you've got a lot of people spawning in the similar locations. Whereas Chernarus is a lot more laid back, relaxed experience. You spawn on the coast, there's probably not anybody around. You have to deal with infected. You have to deal with tasks slowly, bit by bit. And I think that is what I enjoy most when I'm playing DayZ. Just that slow, progressive experience of gathering food and getting clothes and moving yourself west across the map. And all of the journey along the way, it's like you can have a million different adventures on all of the different maps in DayZ. But I think Chernarus allows us to have the more fulfilling adventure compared to Namausk.
What do you think of... Sorry?
Yeah, Namausk is very fun, but I think Chernarus is a more comfortable map for most people, yeah.
And what do you think of the ugly stepchild Livonia?
I like how green it is, but I feel like they don't really need a map. I feel like a little bit, that was a bit of a cash grab, just a tiny bit, to try and get some extra funds, a DLC. So I'm not a fan of Livonia. Depending on what's going to happen in Secrets of Livonia, whether that's 1.19, I'm not sure. I think it is. It could bring that map back to life, but I believe that a lot of people are not great fans of Livonia. Chernarus is, 10 times better. Yeah, 10 times better. Maybe even more. I don't know. If it was a lot better than Chernarus, then I would like it, but I don't know. I just don't like Livonia, to be honest. I just don't like it.
I love it.
I can play it.
But I love just wandering and being lost, and then when someone takes a shot at me or I see someone, it scares the living bejesus out of me. But I just love that, being able to get lost in the forests and the bears. And yeah, I know there's bears in Chernarus now, but it's just Livonia is always going to have a special spot for me. But I agree with you. I didn't like the price tag of it. I honestly think that they should release it as a free DLC and just said, this is our gift to you for staying loyal to the game. But I understand they're a business. They're not a charity. They need to make money. They've got bills to pay. Course, for those who don't know, the story is that, they almost went bust when Arma 2 didn't really take off. And then this crazy Kiwi bloody ex-soldier releases a mod, and it just re-injected money into the company and interest in Armour and Operation Arrowhead, and they made an absolute fucking shit ton from DayZ.
They did. I don't know why they're not 100% focusing, not 100%, but like 80% focusing on DayZ. I don't think whoever's running the company, they might not like the fact that
you think the same as me
is successful because of a mod.
You
the
think
company is successful because of that.
You're wearing the same tinfoil hat as me right now, brother. That's my theory as well.
Arma 3 was fantastic, and the mods that were available as a result of that. And I think now they're realizing with Reforger that modding is very much a strong part of their business, and they're starting to appreciate the fact that player created content is basically what made them. I would say. But it's one of my favorite companies at the moment when it comes to developers, because all the rest of them are just completely falling to pieces. Like, I don't know any game company that I like at the moment, really. Yeah. Ever since
You got me
Cyberpunk came
thinking now
out.
as well. It's like, is there any? I watch a lot
Well,
of
maybe it's not
videos on that.
perfect, but
But
they're
look,
not perfect, but they don't have DLCs. I mean, they don't have like cash shops or anything like that.
Yeah.
They haven't injected that sort of stuff.
loot
They've gone down that
boxes
road.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah, pay
Much
to
of loot
win.
boxes in DayZ.
Pay to win's just the province of the servers, the community servers now.
Yeah.
So I just had a thought as well. I'm wondering if there's some sort of scope for you to do a couple of videos around Livonia, investigating it, because like a couple of people are saying in chat, for console, that's the only other legitimate option. I know they've got Zagoria, which the team talked about on the weekend, and that Project Lemons has been working on, but essentially it's still churnerous at its core. But that might be something for to increase your spread a bit, to do something about Livonia so that people can, yeah. Yeah, there might be some science that's particular to it. Maybe a tips video for Livonia. Bonus
Oh, that's
tip.
a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's my least favorite map out of the 3 that I've played. I will be playing it more because since I've returned, I haven't really had the opportunity to stream as much. So I will certainly be trying to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And Livonia, I know how Livonia looks and I know where stuff is on the Livonia map, but I don't know a lot of information other than that. Oh, I have to go. I don't know when the interview ends, but yeah, I've got to go to a meeting in half an hour and I've got to drive there. So
no worries, mate. Look, we'll start to wrap it up then. I'll throw it out just quickly. Does anyone in chat have a question for Wobo while that pops in? What advice would you give to people thinking about buying DayZ?
You asking people in the chat or me?
No, you. Well, people come up with any questions they want to ask you.
About buying DayZ?
Yeah. What advice would you give to people thinking about buying DayZ?
To buy it. Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt. Not just because I'm a content creator and it gives me extra views or whatever. Oh dear.
You capitalist whore, you.
But because it's a great game, and I think the developers really, really enjoy creating content for the game. I'm sorry, I have to go in a minute.
Okay. Two questions then. We've got 2 questions. One, how big are your feet?
How big are my feet?
Yes.
Oh, I'm size 11 UK, which I think is the same in EU.
Yep.
Size 10 or 11, I'm not sure.
And what do you think about console DayZ?
I think console DayZ is the preferred way to play it for me. I love mods, and mods help move my videos a lot, but if I was going to play the game in any certain way, it would be the way that developers intend it. I love mods, don't get me wrong here, and I love playing with mods, but I like the vanilla version. I like it as it is standard, Yeah.
Wobo, on behalf of everyone, once again, mate, thank you for all you do for us. There's no one who comes even close to the level of detail that you give us on this game. And when the game is such an unforgiving game that doesn't give you a tutorial mode or anything like that, for those who can stick past the dying and not knowing how to open a can of fucking food and being frustrated that you can't just smash it open on the ground, when they do start going looking, or they ask someone, the first place you should all be recommending to them is Wobo's website, folks. I've got the links here in chat now. Please, if you can, consider going and signing up to Wobo's Patreon. I've been a member of it. I love being a member of it. And by proxy, anyone who supports the podcast is also a member because it comes out of the podcast, a little bit of money that we make. We try to give back as much to the community as possible. And also spread the word about his website, folks. Probably one of the greatest collabs in DayZ history. Isn't Mr. Moon and Chow, isn't Mr. Blackout and Jam Jar, it's Wobo and Asmondian, and they're both on the same website now, folks.
Thank you very much for the kind words, Boydie. I really have to get going.
Yes.
My fiance is waiting outside, so
no worries, mate.
go right now.
Thank you so much for this, and all the best with the future, my man.
Thank you very much for interviewing me. Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing.
Bye-bye.
So bye. And we're done, folks. Thank you all so much. Let's just go back here. Let's just go back here. Thank you all so much, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot thank you all enough. It was good to get back in the saddle again. Thankfully, I did a bit of prep work because, my God, my updates had gone absolutely to shit, and I had been logged out of everything. And yeah, I've also paid my artist, Evan, my serval, and I'm actually getting all the artwork redone. So instead of seeing the DayZ podcast up in the corner there, it'll be the spotlight, and yeah, trying to make it a bit more professional. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're in our Discord. If you've got any ideas on who I should interview next, I've got some people that I'm talking to, but I know I said this last time when I interviewed Dinos, and I still haven't even uploaded that interview because I've just been enjoying a break, really enjoying a break from everything, folks. But I want to start getting back into this more, and just you guys who and girls who were here, who hung around for this, who put up with me and all my stupid fucking foot and mouth disease videos. It's good to be back. Good to be back. Expect more of these in the future. Big people, small people, other games, other content creators outside of DayZ. I really want to expand and start working at expanding the 87.8 Survivor FM community into this amazing genre of games that we all love, with DayZ being the best by far. Catch you all later, everyone, and ciao for now. Roll these credits. New follower, Vidiwell, thank you so much for the follow, buddy. All the best, everyone. Let's find someone to send the love to. Who is streaming on YouTube right now? Freshborns are, folks. So anyone who is on the YouTube side of things, let me bring it up. Head on over to these guys. Tell them it's a podcast raid. And for the Twitch side of things, Freshborns are streaming there as well. We'll go send the love to them as well. All the best, everyone, and I will see you for the next interview. Ciao for now.